Welcome to today's trigonometry class. For today, I will help you with identities, specifically for sum and difference. I want you to pay extra attention so that you can get the concept. Before I start, just ensure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page so that you'll be updated or notified whenever a video is posted. For now, let's say start. So now, what's the question saying? Prove each of the following identities. So I believe at the end of this video, you'll be able to understand or know how to prove this type of identities. But before I can solve any question here, I just want you to understand the identities for sum and difference. So now, let me help you with something here. So let me start with the sum. I also have to do for the difference. So we'll do the sum for sine, cos, and tan. So let me start with sine. Sine. So sine, open bracket A plus B is the same as or is equal to sine. Since I said with sine, sine A. Then you change now cos B. Then since sine is an odd function, you maintain, since you started with a positive, there must be a positive here. Then since here you started with the sine, now here we change, we say cos A, then sine B. You get? So this is the first one that I want you to master for sine under sum. Then let me do for cos. Cos, open bracket A plus B is equal to. So now, since I start with cos, I'll start with cos here. Cos A. Then here, there's nothing like changing to sine. You maintain. For cosine, you change, you maintain. So it will be cos B. Then since here, cosine is an even function, so the sign changes. Always for cos, it changes. So if it's positive, then it changes to negative like that. So here, then you say sine A, sine B. So I want you to master this. Then let's do for tan. So tan, open bracket A plus B. Don't forget this is addition, this is for sum. So it's just addition product. So here it's going to be tan A. So now here, same as sine. On the numerator, you maintain just like the way we are maintaining for sine. So it's going to be plus. You maintain there plus tan B over. Now on the denominator, you need to change. On the denominator, you need to change like sign. So you say over 1, always over 1. Then here, you flip the sign like for cos. You change now minus tan A tan B. So I want you to master this and to know this by heart. Then the other identity that I want you to understand is for difference. For difference. So now here we're doing also for sine, cos, and tan. So now let me start with for sine. So sine will be sine, open bracket A minus, since it's difference minus B is equal to. Since it started with sine, I'll start with sine A, then I'll change cos B, then I'll maintain. Since it's sine, sine is an odd function, don't forget. So you maintain. For sine, you maintain the sign, the same. So it's going to be minus. Then here I change cos A sine B like that. Then here, what am I going to do? So it's going to be, let me do for cos, open bracket A minus B is equal to. So since I have cos, I'll start with cos here. Cos A cos B, then I'll change the sign because cos is an even function. So it's going to be positive now. So for cos, always change the sign. So if it's negative, change it to positive. If it's positive, change it to negative, just like that. Then sine A sine B like that. Then what about for tan? For the sake of space, anyway, let me try to utilize it down. So tan, open bracket A minus B is equal to. So on the top part, on the numerator, we said we maintain just like for sine. So it's going to be tan my tan A, sorry, so tan A minus tan what? B over, so it's going to be 1, yes, 1, then you say plus tan A tan B for the sake of, I'm sure you have noticed and you have seen, so it's just the opposite of that. So this is what I want you to notice or to take note. You get? So master this. Then before I can solve, yeah, I can solve, but I want to help you with a unit circle. Yeah, just because this will help you understand trigonometry. Yeah, a unit circle. This is very much important here so that you are not using your calculator. You avoid using your calculator, just using your mind. So you need to master this also. So let me draw something like this. So this is the unit circle, and then you just know that x is represented by the cos, then y is represented by the sine. You get sine theta, then cos theta, like that. Then here you start with this is the x-axis, so you start with 1, then comma 0. So x is in the x here is 1. You get? Then y is 0. What about this side? This is the x-axis also. So this is now the negative part. That's a positive part. So this is will be negative 1, comma 0. You get? Then what about this? So this is the y. This line is the y. So in the y we start with 0, then comma x, which is 1, like that. Then here this is the y-axis now on the negative part. So we start with 0, then comma um, the y, which is negative now. You get? So don't forget, this is what you need to know here. And then this is just the quadrants thing. Then since you know that it's a unit circle, let me just erase this part so that I write something that will make you understand this thing. So here now the first quadrant add up to what? 90. So 90 can also be written as pi over 2. You get? Because pi is the same as 180. Pi is the same as what? 180. So pi is the same as 180. You get? So when you say pi over, so when you say pi over 2 is the same as what? 90, same as 180 over 2. You get? So it can also be written like that. So 90 can also be written as pi over 2. Then what about the second quadrant? What is 90 plus 90? So it's adding up to 180. So this one is adding up to 180. So 180 can also be written as what? Pi in radians, you get? So in radians, like that. So in degrees it's this. In radians is that. In degrees 90. In radians it's that. You get? Yeah. And then 180 plus 90, which is 270. So we are having 270 down here. And then 270 can also be written as 3 pi over 2. What does this mean? Or where is this coming from? So if you don't know how to go about this, then you can convert. So how do you convert degrees to radians? So you know that 270 degrees to radians, you multiply by pi over 180. You get? Yes, always if you want to convert degrees to radians, you multiply pi over 180. So you can just reduce just like that. When you substitute, when you divide everything, you're going to have 3 over 2, this one. So this I write 270, you get? And then here, 270 plus 90, you're going to get 360. So how do I write 360? So 360, this one it says 0, we are starting from, and it can be written like this. 2 times 180, which is pi radians, you get? So this is a complete now, the unit circle, the radians, you get? So this is what I want you to understand here or to take note. So now, before anything, you need to know that the first one is for cos. Here, this is for cos. The other one is for sine. You get the first coordinate. The first one here, one is for cos. The other one. Same applies here. Here, so this one is for cos. It's for sine. Also here, cos, then sine. This is also for cos. Then this one is for sine. Don't. So when they tell you to say, okay, what is cos 90? What is cos 90? Don't even have to use a calculator. Cos 90, the first part here, it's what? 0. You can even use a calculator to prove that. Then what about, so sometimes they won't write that. They can just write cos pi over 2. Same as 0. You get? So now I'm not interested in that. So you understand that now. So what about sine? Sine 90. Sine 90, that this is the y-axis this side. So it's a 1. You get? What about let's do for also for cos 180. Cos 180, this is 180, not so. So the cos is the first part here. So it's -1. You can prove negative. So you don't even have to use it because this question, they like asking, say, solve this question without using a calculator. So there are some equations that you're supposed to be, especially in the trigonometry uh, equations. Yeah, that's why this thing is applied. But I just want you to understand something because you need this. Yeah. And then sine 180 is 0. You get? So same applies to here. So here cos 270 is 0. Sine 270 is -1. Then what about cos 360? Cos 360 is 1. Then sine 360, that is 0. So that's what you need to take note here. And then apart from this, what about if it was tan? If they tell you say tan 90, what is tan 90? What can be tan 90? So tan, you know that tan is the same as sine. Since the theta will just replace with 90, yes, over cos. You get? So we know that sine over cos. So what is sine 90? What is sine 90? Which is the 1. What is cos 90? That is 0. So this is in the calculator. It's the one which brings in math error or undefined. Math error or undefined. Or you can try to prove this. So these are some of the things that I want just you to know or to master. Even if they put cosecant or sec, just have to do the needful. I'm sure they will have done for time. I'm sure that has opened your mind. I'm not here to do that. I just want to open your mind. But there's a video of for this that I want you to watch for me so that you can understand everything. It's just a sample. And then what if now they ask you about maybe sine 30? You get? This is 30. And then apart from that, we have 45. And then apart from that, we have 60. You get? So if it's sine 30 or cos 30, so you need to know the first one is root of 3 over 2, comma 1 over 2. So same applies when it's cos 30, it's root of 3 over 2. When it's sine 30, it's 1 over 2. You get? Then let's go to 45. So 45, we have root of 2 over 2, comma root of 2 over 2. So this is what I want you to understand here. So when it's cos 45, it's root of 2 over 2. When it's sine 45, it's root of 2 over 2. Now, what if it's cos 60? What if it's cos 60? So cos 60 is 1 over 2. And then what about sine 60 is root of 3 over 2. So these are some things that I want you to know because I know this will be needed somewhere. You get? Yeah. So I just want you to take note of this because I'll come back to this. Thank you. Now let's go to the questions if you have mastered that. So now, what's the question saying? Hey, we're trying to prove each of the following things. So we're having sine, open bracket, x plus 90 degrees is equal to cos x. So the question is asking us to prove if this left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So how are we going to do it? And this is the sum for sine, you get? This is summation, you get? So we're going to have, you know that sine, open bracket, x plus 90 is equal to, so have you seen that your a has been replaced with what? Your x, and then your b has been replaced with what? 90. And then here, so for sine, since it's sine, you start with sine. I'm sure you're able to remember now the sum identities. So it's going to be sine x cos 90. And then since this is sine, just maintain positive. Then say cos x sine 90, like that. Hope that is clear. Then from here, we just have to focus on the one which are having the what? The angles. So it's going to be sine x point. This is multiplications, which means multiplication. You get? Cos 90 is 0, 1. Yeah, I'm sure you remember this. Yeah. So yes. So then from here you do this. What is 0 times sine x? So that's 0 plus. Then what is 1 times cos x? So that's cos x. Then 0 plus cos x, that's cos x. So just by doing this, then you have answered. You have proved that the left hand side is equal to the left hand side. It's equivalent. So that's how you do it. So I'm sure that is clear. As I said, just have to master or know those um, identities for sum and for cos, and also knowing the unit circle, as it helps, as you can see. So you can forget because you're a human being, but once you forget, you know where what to do. So now let's go to B. So B is we're having cos y plus 90 degrees is equal to negative sine x. So we're trying to prove if the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side. So no, this is the summation for cos. So I'm sure you're able to remember this. So that's cos open bracket y plus 90 is equal to, since we said cos is going to have cos y cos 90. Then see this is cos. What happens with the sign? You change the sign now. Minus sine y, sine y, and then sine 90. Then here you just deal with the one which is having what? The angles. So here cos, we just maintain like that. That's the point for multiplication. What is cos 90? So cos 90, as you know, that's 0. You get? Minus. Then sine y maintain. Then what is sine 90? What is sine 90? So that's 1. I'm sure you know where these things are coming from now. Then from here you multiply. What is 0 times cos y? So that's 0 minus sine y. Because what is 1 times y? That's sine y. Then from here, what is 0 minus sine y? So that's negative or minus y, like that. So we have proved that um, the left hand side is equivalent to the the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side. So it's equal. You get? Yeah. So I'm sure there's an error somewhere. Since they said with, yeah, I've seen it. So this is x, this is y, eh? So this was supposed to be y also. Yeah, understand, because it's not making sense. So I was like, why it's not equivalent? Because there's an error. So this is supposed to be y. Yeah, and it's making sense because there's no x here. Though they like using your x, I don't know why they like mentioning your x here. So now let's go to which other question. Okay, that's a C. C. So C. Hope this is clear now. Yeah. So that's how it's done. So as you prepare for exam, there are just some things that you need to know. You get? In case you forget, you know how to make yourself remember things. So that's how you study. You need to ensure that you study in a way that you can't forget. In as much as you can forget, you know how you can remember the concept. So cos z minus theta is equal to, here there is a minus. Also there they made a mistake. It's supposed to be cos z, like that. You get? That's the reason why I put this lead in clear. So now from here, this is now the difference now. So you need to know what you're dealing with, the difference now. So that's cos open bracket z minus the pi is equal to, start with cos z cos the pi, and then since this is cos, you change the sign to be plus, and then sine z, then sine the pi, the theta, or the pi, sorry. And then from here, you know that your pi is equivalent to 180. I explained this on the unit circle. Then here I said you just have to focus on which is having the what, the angle, the theta you get. So this is just the theta now, it's in lagrange you get. So this is 180 now in lagrange. So you just have to maintain cos z, then point multiplied by what is cos 180. Cos 180, that's -1. If you can remember, this is cos 180, this is cos 180, this is -1, and then sine 180, that's 0. So this is what I want you to know. So then plus, you maintain your sine z, and then what's your sine? So that's sine sine pi, that's 1, because that's 180. So is equal to, then what is cos z multiplied by -1? So that's negative cos z plus, sorry, this is supposed to be 0. Have you seen how the mind is? Yes. So yeah, I've even showed you. So that's 0. Yeah, so that is 0. Then and then what is 0 plus negative cos 0? So that's negative cos z, like that. So we have proved that the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side, and it's equal, like that. So that's how you go about this type of question. So let me help you with D. Hope you're getting the concept. Hope you're getting the concept. So that's how it's done. So it doesn't matter even if the video is long, as long as you have managed to get the concept that is needed for you to avoid missing marks in your exam. So that's done. Theta minus the pi. Get? We're having the pi here is equal to tan theta. So we're trying to prove if the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side. So if this can give us that. So now what are we going to do? So this is the difference for the tan. So you know that tan theta minus pi is the same as, you start with tan theta, then you maintain like the sign. This is the same as for the numerator, you maintain then the pi, like that, over then you do this, you write 1, then you change the sign plus tan theta tan pi. Now here, you know that your pi is 180, don't forget. You get? Now, the tan, how can you come up with a tan? The tan. Okay, let me just use the unit circle. So you know that the tan itself, that's that tan 180, not so. It's the same as tan 180. Yes, that's 180, the pi. The pi is the same as sine over cos. Sine over cos. You get? Sine over cos. And this is sine also, it's 180. Since we're using 180, it's 180, not so. So what's your sine 180? Sine 180, that's -1. Yes, so sine, oh sorry, that's 0. That's 0. And then what's your sine 180? That's -1. So here, it's same as what? 0. You get? It's the same as what? 0. So have you seen? In case you forget, you have where to refer. Yeah, so we know that our tan theta, that's the 0. So where you see this, you'll be replacing with 0. So it's going to be something like this. Yeah, so it's going to be tan theta minus tan, what's this? What's this? Our pi. So that's 0. So let me just replace. Sorry, let me just replace. Yeah, so that's 0. Then yes, over what's our we have 1 plus tan theta. Then what's our, that's 0. So that's 0, you get? Yes. Then here we continue just like that. So it's going to be tan theta. Since minus 0 is same as nothing, over, you multiply. What is 0 times tan? So that's 0. So we're going to have 1 plus 0. So which is going to give us tan theta over 1, which is going to give us tan theta. So we have proved that The right hand side is equivalent with the left hand side. It's equal, you get? So there is that equivalence thing. So that's what you need to know here. Then let's go to the other one, which is E. I'm sure you're getting the concept and you're enjoying this thing. So that's how this thing is done. That's how this thing is done. So it's very simple and very sweet. And this is E. Okay, so we're dealing with E now. So we're having tan theta plus pi over 4. So what do they mean pi over 4? And then we're having 1 plus tan theta over 1 minus tan theta, like that. So we're trying to prove if the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side. So now what are we going to do? So we need to understand to say what is we know that our pi is 180 and then they have divided by 4. So what is 180 by 4? So that is 45. You get? So we know that our theta, which is here, that's 45. You get? Yeah, hope that is clear to you. And then what else are you supposed to do here? You know that this is the summation for the tan. So it's going to be tan theta plus pi over 4 is the same as tan theta plus tan pi over 4. So this is pi. Let me write it nicely. Yeah, so this is pi. Yeah, so that's a pi over 4. And then over, it's supposed to be 1. Since it's plus here, it's going to be minus tan theta tan pi over 4. Now here, our question will be, what is our tan pi over 4? What is this? So now, from here, let me take you back to the unit circle. You remember 45, I had to put it. I knew that this was my target. You get? 45, you know that. So the cos is this, the sine is this. You get? So root of 2 over 2, root of 2 over 2. So cos is that, sine is that. So now, since it's tan we are having, you know that tan 45 or whatever you can write. So it's same as sine over cos, sine over cos, sine over cos. Now, what are we having here? We're having root of 2 over 2 divided by root of 2 over 2, which is same as 1. It's going just to give us 1. You get? So tan 45, you want to calculate, it's going to give you 1. So we don't even have to stress. You get? So we know that this is giving us 1. So wherever you see this, we replace with 1. So let me just use this top part here. So it's going to continuation here. So it's going to be where have I even done this? So it's going to be tan is equal to tan theta plus tan, what is this? Sorry, let me replace why. Okay, yeah, I think I'm tired. So what's this? That's 1 over 1 minus theta, and then what is tan uh sorry, listen, these silly mistakes I'm making. Yeah, so that right, tan theta, and then you know that this is tan 45, that's 1. You get? So whenever you multiply, even if you multiply, so tan theta plus 1 over 1 minus 1 times that is going to be tan theta. Now here, you just have to ensure that you arrange it in order according to how the question is. So we're going to take this positive 1 in front, like that, plus tan theta over 1 minus tan theta. And you can see that it's equivalent. So the left hand side is equivalent to the right hand side, and they're the same, they're equal. So this last one, I can solve. I want you to solve and participate. And please, once you solve, submit via my WhatsApp number down here. I'll be able to mark you. Yes, so I'll mark you this. But I conduct tuitions and you need to join my tuition